In Overwatch, Hitscan is one of the most mechanically challenging and impactful roles. Ranging from Widow Snipes to Cassidy shots, the Hitscan role is truly versatile. Throughout Overwatch esports history, there have been a ton of crazy good Hitscan players, and today, I'm going to be going over the top 5 Hitscans in Overwatch history. Before we begin, a reminder that this list is my opinion, so if you disagree, please leave a comment down below on who your top 5 are, as I'd really love to hear it. Starting off at the number 5 spot, I have Ons. Ons was a very unexpected player. If you were watching in Season 3, you might remember that Ons literally came out of nowhere. He played for some not-so-great teams in Korean tenders, but when the Shock picked him up in 2020, his impact was immediately felt. Some games would literally be won by Ons alone. His Widowmaker was absolutely disgusting, and he was a key component to the Shock's success in 2020. On top of his world-class Widow, his Cass and Ashe were also very good. And with the Shock, he won 2 stage titles, as well as the Grand Finals later that year. He also won a Role Star. However, the rest of his career was far less successful. He retired after 2020, but he rejoined the Shock midway through 2021. However, he wasn't nearly as dominant. The Shock struggled a lot in 2021, and Ons moved over to the Los Angeles Gladiators in 2022. Gladiators were very successful, however, Ons was on the bench for most of that season, with Pattyfan being the main starter over him. They played a few maps here and there, and the Gladiators won the first 2 stages, but after that, the Gladiators really struggled once Pattyfan retired. After the season ended, that was really the last we saw of Ons. Although he was so dominant in 2020, he really lacks the longevity to get any higher on this list. At the number 4 spot, I have Shy. Shy is one of the most mechanically talented players ever, and he is a staple of Chinese Overwatch. Exploding onto the Hangzhou Spark in 2021, his Hitscan was extremely good. He was one of the best parts of that Spark team, but unfortunately, the team wasn't really the greatest, and Shy had to carry them as much as he could every single game. In 2022, the team got a lot better, and notably, Sojourn got released, and Shy was absolutely disgusting on Sojourn. During the season, he would dominate, being at least top 3, if not number 1 on Sojourn throughout the year. I mean, his 70% railgun accuracy during several matches is quite impressive. The Spark didn't win anything this year, but they did have a really good playoff run at the end of the year, and in 2023, the Spark formed a Chinese super team, with Shy right at the center. The Spark were consistently a top 3 team in the East and had a great playoff run at the end of the year, even beating the Atlanta Reign in a reverse sweep. Unfortunately, since Shy is Chinese, he hasn't been able to perform in OWCS, but he recently appeared at the East World World Cup, and he actually looked pretty good despite LGD's performance, even beating Team Falcons in a really great match. Shy has continued to be a staple of Chinese Overwatch and is one of the best Hitscans of all time. Coming in at the number 3 spot is Merit. Merit's career has been relatively short but extremely successful. He started out on the Houston Outlaws in 2022, and the combo of him and Pelican was a scary sight to see. Merit's Sojourn was disgusting, and he helped bring the Outlaws to a 3rd place finish in the playoffs, as well as getting the first triple collateral shot. In 2023, he moved over to the Florida Mayhem, and he was an incredible asset for the team immediately, winning in the Pro-Am at the beginning of the season. The combo of Someone, Checkmate, and Merit was disgustingly good, and although the mid-season madness didn't really go as planned, the playoffs ended in a dominant fashion, with Merit and company taking the final OWL Championship. After OWL ended, Merit moved over to the Toronto Defiant to compete in the NA region. Merit and the Defiant won NA Stage 1 and 2 with relative ease, and although Toronto might have choked in the Dallas Major, they had an incredible run in the Esports World Cup, beating LGD and Zeta Division and placing 2nd place overall. Merit continues to dominate to this day, and I can't wait to see what else he has in store in the future for the rest of this year. Very fittingly, the person in the 2nd place is the silver medal champion himself, Carpe. Carpe has a very long, storied career with numerous 2nd place finishes under his belt. Starting in 2018 on the Philadelphia Fusion, Carpe secured his first 2nd place in Stage 2, losing to the NYXL in a brutal Map 5 game. He also got 2nd in the 2018 Grand Finals, losing to Profit and the London Spitfire. In 2019, Carpe didn't really do that great, but none of the DPS players really got a chance to play because of GOATs. However, in 2020, Carpe secured 2 more 2nd places, in the Summer Showdown and Countdown Cup tournament, with the Summer Showdown Finals versus the Paris Eternal being one of the greatest matches of all time. He also won a Role Star during this year as well. Although 2021 wasn't that bad, the Fusion didn't even make it to any tournaments, and in 2022, Carpe secured his final second place at the 2022 kickoff clash against the Seoul Dynasty. After that, Carpe was benched for majority of the rest of the year and retired to play Valorant after. Although Carpe never won anything, his longevity and consistent top 2 placements secures him as one of the greatest Hitscans of all time. Plus, it's kinda funny to put him at the number 2 spot. Some honorable mentions go to Birdring, Kai, Happy, Fitz, Sparker, Flora, and Seeker. Each of these players are extremely good, but either lack the longevity, accomplishments, or championships to make it onto this list. Kai, Birdring, and Happy were very close for me, but I ended up picking Ons over them for his 2020 performance alone. However, if you think any of these guys, or someone I didn't mention, should be in the top 5, please leave a comment down below, as I'd love to hear your thoughts. And who knows, maybe these guys can overtake Ons in the future. I certainly believe that Kai or Happy might, just from their future performances alone. However, to the surprise of literally no one, the best Hitscan in the world is Lip. Lip is arguably the Overwatch GOAT, between him and Violet, and after that Ajax at Esports World Cup, I think it's pretty fair to say that Lip is the GOAT at this point. He's also one of the most dominant players of all time, winning some of the most stage tournaments and just overall wins of any player ever. Starting out on the 2020 Shanghai Dragons, Lip immediately made an impact on his team. The back of Lip's cast and Sombra, the Dragons won both the May Melee and Countdown Cup tournaments, as well as placing top 3 in the playoffs. He also won a Roll Star this year too. In 2021, the Dragons were absolutely the best team, winning another 2 titles, both the June Joust and the Summer Showdown, as well as easily winning the Grand Finals against the Atlanta Reign. Lip Sombra was just on another level this year, and he won a 2nd Roll Star in a row for his efforts. In 2022, the Dragons were not nearly as good, but Lip was just as good as ever. His Sojourn was on another level, and he helped bring the Dragons to a win in the Summer Showdown. Lip was undisputedly the best player on his team, and was the main reason Shanghai Dragons were even remotely successful that whole year. Lip ended up winning his 3rd consecutive Roll Star, and in 2023, he moved over to the Atlanta Reign, where his Sombra quite literally defined the meta for most of the season. Him and Stalker helped lead the way to a dominant mid-season Madness win, and although Lip may have been snubbed at the MVP, he did win his 4th Roll Star in a row, winning the most of any player ever. After the Overwatch League went away, Lip joined WAC, who later became Crazy Raccoon. This team placed 2nd in the Korea Stage 1 and won the Asia playoffs. Crazy Raccoon also went on to win DreamHack Dallas, and the combo of Hitscan and Lip really took over. They're currently the team to beat, especially after winning the Esports World Cup with only 2 map losses total. If Lip keeps winning, his GOAT argument is just gonna get better and better. And it's very clear to see that Lip is a full tier above every other Hitscan and potentially is the greatest player of all time. But what do you guys think? Please feel free to let me know who you think the best Hitscan is in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more Overwatch esports content. I'll have a video on the Esports World Cup coming out soon, so please keep an eye out for that. Thank you all so much for watching.